can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. ReliefFactor.com, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-473-5433. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
It has been a decade now since the Islamic State terrorist group declared a caliphate in large parts of Iraq and Syria. BBC's Frank Gardner.
The nearly 5 years of rule by the so-called Islamic State, inflicted on millions of citizens in Iraq and Syria, will be remembered for its extreme brutality. It targeted Christians, Shia Muslims, ethnic Yazidis, policemen and their families, anyone, in fact, who opposed its narrow and violent version of Sharia, Islamic law. The group lost the last of its physical territory in 2019, but it has since shifted its focus to sub-Saharan Africa. Further east, its Afghan branch is thought to be responsible for deadly attacks this year in Iran and Russia, as well as elsewhere.
Turkish authorities say a propane tank explosion at a restaurant has left at least 5 people dead. More than 60 have been injured. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com.
At Temple's Halloran, we are here first and foremost to help the family through their most difficult time while being mindful of their financial needs. At Temple's Halloran, we are interested in serving the family, not loading a contract with many options and misunderstood packages. We serve families one at a time. And you're dealing with either Jeff Temples or John Halloran, 2 veteran funeral directors. They were raised in this area and they have served the Midlands for more than 60 years. Temples Halloran.
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
These letters keep coming into Bergen Roofing, and Stuart shares them with me, so I share the stories with you. In this case, 2 guys are going door to door selling roof repairs. They're stating they can see the problems on your roof from the street. Oh, wrong. Hey, maybe there is a hole up there. Probably not. But I'll say the same thing Bergen has said for years. Use a reputable company. Do not let these door knocking, now you see them, now you don't, guys, up on your roof. They could actually puncture your roof just to get your business. It's happened with these fly-by-night scammers. Look, if these guys are any good at all, they wouldn't need to go door to door. Good roofing companies stay busy. They don't solicit door to door. I think folks are getting smarter and smarter, and you need to in order to stop these scammers. If you find yourself in need of a roofer, and Bergen hopes you don't, but if you do, then use a local, trusted company and call Bergen today at 798-ROOF. That's 798-ROOF, or visit them on the web at bergenroofing.com.
Sniper scope, Smith & Wesson, stand opposed to every band. Gun control is a steady hand. So if you want it, you'll have to come and take it and understand till it is in my sight. And if you want it, you'll test your will and break it. I will never give it up without a fight. To stop the kings. Life without chains is what it brings. So keep them close and take a stand. Gun control is a steady hand. You'll have to come and take it and understand till it is in my sight. And if you want it, you'll test your will and break it. I will never give it up without a fight. It's another sound. It's never sound. It doesn't make a sound till I defeat it.
All right, great people of Columbia and the handful of people that are listening on the interwebs. Gene Garris here, America's radio show, and we lost a caller, so just call right back. Just call right back. I wasn't paying super attention, and we'll get you back in just a second. Just a little tiny problem here. Problem resolved. All right, great folks. Gene Garris here, AmericasRadioShow.com. We'll get the website fixed eventually. Dangerous Doug Kendall, that's who's singing the theme song. Come and get it with his band Down Count. Got to see Dangerous Doug a couple days ago. Last week, in fact, and then we had him on the afternoon drive on Friday. So that was awesome. He's talking about his book, and that was great. Always good to great to have Dangerous Doug on the radio. Telephone number here is 803, and I can't see what's going on outside, but I can hear what's going on outside, and we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, happy Sunday.
Well, happy Sunday to you. Are you in a deluge?
Yeah, actually, just, I really don't like to brag. I really don't. But I'm heading home from going to the grocery store where I bought meat.
Ooh.
And I didn't, you led me into the bragging. I really didn't mean to brag, but, I bought meat in a Biden economy. So
did you buy more than $100 worth that you could hold in one hand?
Pretty much.
No, I mean, if people want to know, why are you voting for Trump? And you can go, well, the other guys made bacon so expensive we can't afford to serve it at our house anymore. That's a reason why.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me get on a little personal thing before I get on my rant, but
okay.
I do need to brag on myself a little bit more. I'm one to pull jokes and prank and stuff like that, and I don't believe life needs to be too serious. But I'm always pranking my wife. But today is a
dangerous man.
Yeah, 17 years ago today, I pranked her into marrying me.
Wow!
My ultimate one.
Wow! Yeah. And she wasn't delusional or anything either, right? She was of sound mind.
We think.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. There are a lot of people that don't make it that long.
You have to have my cousins say, he's from Indiana, and say, hey, by the way, guys, I just found out I'm not legal to marry people in South Carolina. To see if that'll get me out of it, but I don't think that was false.
No, I think that would be a mistake. I think you are the winner on that transaction.
Oh yeah, by far. But no, back on the serious stuff. You kind of segued into something I was going to talk about, and it's funny how CNN. It's when you try to make something sound a little bad when it's way worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, well, I'm going to concede a little bit bad, and maybe you'll bite on that.
Yeah, they'll forget about it.
Question about, right.
Or the other thing, there's two other things going on there too. The other thing is, that's old news, David the scientist. We've already talked about that. We don't need to go into 30 days of how incompetent the guy is. And then the other thing is, we've already talked about it. We're in agreement at how horrible the debate thing was. It's just tactics.
Yeah, but in this case, they said, what used to be $100 worth of groceries is now $120. So it's kind of like saying, yeah, look, Biden, it's gotten kind of bad under you, but I don't know where they're getting $120 at. And I wasn't able to hear the whole show Friday because, unfortunately, Ed started talking about some things that I didn't want my daughter's hearing, and I was on the Bluetooth on the car. So once I started hearing about undressed people, I was like, well, I got to cut this off because I don't want to, have them hear this. But I did hear this he said it's tripled and quadrupled. And, maybe it hasn't, but it sure has gone up a whole lot. And that's the point. And what I keep hearing is, well, Biden looked horrible, but Donald Trump was out there lying. Gene, I made notes during the debate. I didn't watch it, but I listened to it in our hotel room that night and just had my headphones on listening to it. and I would mentally every so often stop and make a note, and send myself a text. Here's a note of all the different lies that he's told and everything.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of the biggest flubs that he had was, I didn't know Roe v. Wade had 3 trimesters. I didn't know Roe v. Wade was a woman.
Yeah. I'm really happy that we've beaten Medicare. So I no longer have to do Medicare tax anymore. The president of the United States says we've beat Medicare.
Yeah, we defeated it.
So no more of that nonsense.
And let's talk about numbers being flubbed. Now, granted, his true numbers were better if you believe him, but he's bragging about creating 15,000 jobs. Wow, that's good for a city, I guess, maybe.
Well, that would be okay for the city of Columbia. That wouldn't be okay for the state of South Carolina. That wouldn't be okay for a nation state.
Right. So what's funny, when you boil it all down, Gene, and you really think about it intellectually and think, okay, so let's say Donald Trump said groceries are 300%, 400% more, and they're not.
Well, here's the thing. I got a buddy of mine that owns a restaurant, and chicken wings used to cost like $22, $22 a case. Now they're $80. So that's on the wholesale side. So that's a 4x increase just on chicken wings.
There's a place, my cousin, a place my wife's cousin's husband. He's the guy I talk about who's a union worker at Mac. But when we go up there, usually one night during the stay, to thank them for staying, I'll take them down to the bar there, and we'll go eat chicken wings and drink a few beers and whatnot, right? So I said, hey, let's go down there and let's do the Monday night wing special. He goes, man, you're late for that. I said, what do you mean? He goes, they cut that out a few months ago, probably for that same reason you're talking about, that they couldn't advertise the true price of wings because it wouldn't be that great a deal. So,
all right, hold on, David. Hold on. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Gene Garris, David the Scientist, 803-799-8255, Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline.
So special around the lake. The only thing that can make it more special is finally going ahead and getting your own new boat. There's never been a better time than now. Marine 360 has a great selection of 2024s, but they won't last forever. And here's why. Everything Brandon and Scott have in their inventory is available at or below invoice cost. And not because they're good guys, which they really are. I've known them a long time. And not because there's some gimmicky commercial like some guy hawking used cars. I don't do that. That's simply because the manufacturer's rebates from folks like Crest and Sea Hunt, well, they've never been better. So you win, but you need to get moving. As the season goes by, the selection will dwindle. So my suggestion, do your homework. Go online. Look at marine360sc.com. Make an appointment. Go see Brandon and Scott at Marine 360 right on Johnson Marina Road. Look at their showroom. Get a demo on the lake itself. This is the best boating value in years. marine360sc.com or call them. 749-2360. That's 749-2360, Marine 360.
Join the Blowfish July 3rd and 4th for baseball and a patriotic concert in the sky fireworks spectacular. Tickets start at just $6.50 for adults, $5.50 for kids. Wednesday the 3rd, the Blowfish will be sizzling on the making bacon, then fireworks. Thursday the 4th of July, it's the annual fish fry, Blowfish versus Glowfish. Then more fireworks. Red, white, and boom. Independence fireworks with the Lexington County Blowfish, July 3rd and 4th. 7:05 game time. Got your tickets? Go blowfish.com.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
Worried about the coof? Seeking out your own fibrous white clots? We've got you covered at Little Seizures. First-timers welcome, or if you just need that boost, we've got you covered at Little Seizures. We've got Physoid. We've got Modernist. We've got the J&J Dynamite versions of the manufactured RNA sucker juice. Be honest, you've always wanted to be a chimera, and we've got you covered at Little Caesars. When it's you, your family, or even your unborn children, we've got you covered at Little Caesars.
All right, and we're back with our friend David the Scientist. Thank you for holding on during that craziness.
Yeah. No, so like I said, I didn't listen to the show Friday once I got into that, but I was able to watch it on YouTube or Facebook. Oh, he's the sharpest he's ever been.
Yeah,
So,
and Joe, dead intern Scarborough, just the previous week, he might be at the best he's ever been. I've known him forever. And you're like, you are on crack. And whatever crack that Mika is throwing his way is really messing him up. He has pickled his brain. It might be a Russian thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like, we keep saying this all the time, Gene. The media, those liberals, the CNN, MSNBC, whatever, they're lying to you. And now we have all these documented cases of the lies. They even said, we knew the laptop story was true, but we hid it because we felt like it was the greater good to do that. Russia. Very fine people. Injecting bleach. All these things. But yet, these liberals will still believe the media. They'll turn on CNN, listen to what they say, go, oh my gosh, that's the truth. I believe that. And there's all these lies we keep catching them in. But speaking of lies, okay, let's say Donald Trump said 4 times the groceries. Let's say he made up this other stat. Let's say he said we had the cleanest water, whatever. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, does those lies on the stage affect our position in the world? In other words, does Iran say, gosh, I don't want to attack, countries that the United States would protect because they got the cleanest water?
Yeah, that's right. They're very honest.
When they see a guy that can't even walk across the stage, when he can't even put words together, that's the danger.
Right.
That's what hurts us. Not the lies, not the saying that was misconstrued, this one, that, and whatever. But you know what I like? I like that he finally did at least talk about, many times he mentioned how that very fine people think has been debunked. But when Biden said everyone under $170,000 pays 6% interest or 6% tax, that's when we need someone to say, you realize, now, because I guess they realize a lot of people in this country don't know this, but the bottom half of the country don't pay a net federal income tax.
Right.
I don't pay a net federal income tax due to the write-offs.
Right.
So I wish people would sit there and go, no, that's not true. And just point out these things, the things that the liberals really latch on to, like, oh, the tax cuts just for the rich. Well, they're the ones paying the tax.
Yeah.
You can't cut it for people that don't pay them.
Right.
How are you going to cut taxes from the bottom 10%? The ones who want
that are already at zero. And then there's the other thing, and it's criminal in its deception, the earned income tax credit.
Oh yeah.
It's neither earned nor is it income. It's a social welfare program. But we need to be honest about these things, and they know what they're doing. They are better at playing the game than we are.
But you know what? When we talk about the lies, like I said, they both were lying. But ultimately what matters is when they saw the guy sitting there looking off into space, not even knowing what day it was, talking about defeating Medicare, and in his last 2 minutes, like, hey, you got 2 minutes to sell us on Joe Biden. And as part of that valuable 2 minutes, he started talking about lead pipes. So I guess he's going to come around our houses and look for lead pipes and replace them. I don't know. I mean, that's the true threat to this country, is when other countries see this and go, man, this what I want to do, I want to do something. I want to get my army up and take a country over, whatever, because this guy's not going to stop us.
Yeah, we got a problem. We not only are we closer to World War III than we've ever been in the history of the country, and let's be honest, there is a Russian armada right now based in Cuba with hypersonic missiles that we cannot defend against. I mean, that's the truth.
Yep.
We cannot defend against it. And we are so weak as a nation state that Putin's folks feel comfortable. We almost went to war the last time they put offensive-only weapons in Cuba. It was the greatest trial of the Kennedy administration. So we're in this horrible thing. Now here's the other wrinkle. Not only are we closer to World War III than we've ever been in our nation's history, But now we're also closer to internal terrorist act.
Yep.
Because of all the people that have flooded the southern border. That's where we are. We have, everything that was reasonable got thrown out. And I think we need to stop focusing on Joe Biden. Because what is Joe Biden?
Right.
Joe Biden he's never been at the switch. He's never been running the show. This whole time, he's not been doing it. So these goofy policies, these looking for new groups to find to be aggrieved so they can be part of the Democrat coalition, all those things, those are Democrat values. Those are National Democrat Party values. So it's not going to make a dime's worth of difference if you swapped out a clear-thinking, let's say a clear-thinking evil Queen Gretchen Whitmer by getting rid of Biden. So it's not going to make a difference because they pursue the same policies, the same failing policies.
Yep. Well, what's funny, and he also mentioned another lie that Biden told. And I've acknowledged one's Trump told, but again, they don't matter. But in the context of this one, no military have died under my watch.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that when you know that the Gold Star families are going to be on the scene the next day?
Exactly. And did Russia attack Ukraine when Donald Trump was president or Biden?
No. So Russia went into Georgia with George W. Bush. Russia went took over Crimea with Biden, Obama, and then scared the hell out of what Trump might do. Okay, we're not going to mess with that. We're not going to mess with that.
Right.
That's a bear. That's the bear can't poke. And then as soon as it's largely like these criminals in New York City. They know that eventually there's going to be a Democrat administration, and you won't be able to hold me behind these bars. You won't even require me to post bond. So
what's funny? We have this one liberal. I won't say my name. I'm trying not to do the name thing, but we have one liberal likes to call in, and he's all against us giving money to other countries and everything. And the thing is, we wouldn't be doing that if Donald Trump was president. So when you don't want us sending money to Israel, to Ukraine, to wherever, why would you vote for the guy who allowed this stuff to happen? I mean, none of these wars started under Trump. And when they say, "Oh, when you're president, it's going to be this, that," well, show us proof of it.
4 years of peace.
At yin yang, through peace, through strength,
right?
And they don't get that, So they look at he lied about 4 times the cost. I don't care about that. I care about the fact when you see a guy there who looks like he doesn't even know what state he's in, and the bad guys in the world see this and they say, "Let's go do some bad things," because they won't stop us. That's what I worry about.
Well, let's go back to that 4 times the cost. I mean, I have bought eggs at Aldi for as low as 59 cents a dozen. Normally, it would hover about $1. They've gotten up to $5 on under this misadministration. So that's a more than 400% increase.
Right.
So
some things you could find like that. And,
so if you pick and choose, I bet you could assemble a grocery list where things are at least 3, if not 4 times more expensive than they were during Trump world.
But not 20%, like they tried to make it on CNN. They said, "Oh, we'll give you the 20%." They're up 100 down to 120 to make it sound like, "Hey, things are kind of bad on some of your watch." And he never said what he's going to do. He says, "Oh, we're gonna solve this problem." Well, tell me how you're gonna solve it. Don't just say you're going to solve it.
And
tell
these
me what things you're going to put in place to solve it.
And the moderators, they were sort of asleep at the switch too. I mean, I think they were really prepared to go after Trump, and Trump never gave him the opportunity. But they never asked a follow-up question that had any value.
Well, you know what? That reminds me of another thing is Donald Trump did really well on the abortion issue when he talked about sending it back to the states. But what I wish he would have done is the comment you've made is RBG herself has said, it should not have been us.
Right. It was bad law.
You your own, like one of your heroes said it should have not been done here. It should be at the state level.
Right.
Point that out to Joe Biden. So when he goes to North Carolina the next day and talk about, he's trying to take away women's rights and everything, say, well, remember that quote he mentioned about RBG? Wow, she really did say that, So he had really good thoughts on that. And he said, basically, you got to follow your heart, leave it to the state level, and let the voters decide. And that's the way it should be.
Well, that sounds like democracy.
Constitution. Right, exactly. But that's all I got, Gene.
Well, here's another quick thing before you go. What are they, as the paragons of democratic action, what are they going to do now that 10+ million Democrats have voted for Joe Biden? Are they going to eschew the will of the people, the stated will of the people?
Right. Well, here's the funny thing. If you put anyone in there besides Kamala, because what I read is only the money can go to her, is let's say Gavin Newsom runs for president. That $200-something million they have in the bank can't be used for him. So he'd be starting at ground zero.
Wow.
So they really can't afford for it to be anyone but him or Kamala, and she'll get trounced. He really is their only hope right now, as feeble as he is.
Man alive. Maybe the plan will ultimately be that he will try to survive, get the re-election, and then bow out as soon as he's sworn in.
Well, one last thing I'll say is this is what happens when you don't get fed the questions in advance.
Remember the thing that I watched the whole thing because I knew on Friday I was going to talk about it. That's after 8 days of preparation.
Exactly.
After 8 days. I mean, I learned a semester of Spanish in a night. I can't imagine. I'm serious. I can't imagine that after 8 days of high intensity drugs and everything else. All right, David, we'll let you go. Got another person on the line. We'll talk to he or she in just a little bit, but we'll be right back. Gene Garris, America's Radio Show, 803-799-8255. Groucho's Deli Studio Hotline.
Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Hurricane Beryl approaching now the southeast Caribbean as a very powerful Category 4 storm and is expected to make landfall in the Windward Islands sometime early Monday morning. National Hurricane Center said Beryl is forecast to bring life-threatening winds and storm surge as an extremely dangerous hurricane. The Justice Department plans to propose that Boeing plead guilty to fraud in connection with 2 deadly plane crashes involving its 737 MAX jetliners. Sources say Boeing will have until the end of the week to accept or reject the offer. Canada's second largest airline canceling 800 more flights today, affecting tens of thousands of passengers. That after an unexpected strike Friday by WestJet mechanics. This is SRN News.
I've been asked plenty of times from folks who see our beautiful point hats and shirts and sweatshirts, who does your promotional materials? It's Bardak Design and Promotions over on Rosewood. They used to be Tease Me. Different name, same team, same quality. And that team, well, it's been doing this forever and it shows. They have quick turnaround. Their pricing is very fair. You're looking for the best quality in screen printing, unrivaled creativity, where incredible quality is assured. Well, you want Bardak. Hey, local matters. Ordering online from these national guys, that means you're taking your chances. You don't know what you're going to get until it's in your hands. Bardak Design stands by their work. This time of year, it's family reunions, graduations, summer camp, softball, and baseball. They can do it all. Whatever you need for your team, for your office, for your event, you want your employees proudly displaying your logo while looking sharp and professional. And they have no logo? Well, fine. Bardak can design your apparel. Oh, and tell them you want the Point discount. They're conveniently located near the State Fairgrounds, 1334 Rosewood Drive, or give Bardak a call, 254-7940, 254-7940 for Bardak Design and Promotion.
I will not make any deals with you. I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
All right, King Harris back. America's radio show and programming note. I'll be on Afternoon Drive both Monday and Tuesday, a double shot, so actually 3 in a row. But we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Dr. Gene.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, just a little free shower here in South Carolina.
I can hear it. How's that Clemson granddaughter of yours?
Hey, this girl, she got an apprenticeship to go down to the low country and mentor with a marine biologist for 6 weeks with room and board and $20 an hour.
Wow, that is excellent. Yeah, I think Snuffy needs to try to get the same deal.
Yeah, I want that job.
Well, that's wonderful.
Hey,
that really is wonderful.
Yeah, she's doing real good. She spotted 2 cottonmouths while the lady she's working with said, we don't never see any boys in this state.
That's funny. That is funny.
She's looking out, but I'm very, very proud of her.
Well, the acorn doesn't fall too far from the tree, so I encourage you to take as much happiness and responsibility for that young woman as much as you can.
Hey, you talking about a dumb old country boy here. I don't know where she got those smarts from, but it wasn't from this side. Yeah, I know the other side. I don't think it was from them either.
Well, it must have come from somewhere. It must have come from somewhere.
I'm proud of both my daughters. One of them's an eye care expert, I guess I should say, and the other one owns sows. Come grow your garden with sows.
Oh, wonderful.
Seed. So, yeah. Anyway, I called you because I wanted to know the name of the guy that wrote that book that was on Friday.
Doug Kendall, Kendall. Kendall. Doug Kendall.
Doug Kendall. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I just enjoyed listening to Dave, and we just had one heck of a downpour up here on the Northeast. So that was my main thing, is Doug Kendall.
Yep, Doug Kendall.
I'm going to check it out because I want to get it.
Well, good. It's a great book. I got it as soon as he announced that it was available. I bought it from Amazon, and then not yesterday, but the weekend before, I ran into him at Barnes & Noble on Garner's Ferry, and had to wait for a little bit, but he had a book signing there.
Oh, wow. Well, see, I don't do a lot of this online stuff from buying online and all that, so I have to get one of my daughters to order it for me.
Well, that's the best way to do it. Make them pay you back a little bit by doing some work for you.
Oh, yeah. They're good. Good girls. I'm proud of both of them.
Well, again, you must have contributed some way to not only that in the direct next generation, but in the next generation, too.
Well, I want you to come out and see our farm.
Okay. Well, that would be great. I married into a agricultural family, and I've learned more stuff just being around them and seeing all the things that have to happen than you can imagine.
Yeah. People don't realize there ain't a day off.
Right. And usually not 4 hours off at the same time.
This is true. All right, buddy. Well, I'm enjoying your show.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you so much, Snuffy, and look forward to hearing from you again.
God bless.
All right. Thanks so much. 803-799-8255, 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. And we're open for you. We have availability immediately. And our friend David, the social scientist, has joined us electronically, but not where we can hear him well. So glad to see him joining us on the interwebs. And that's the whole reason The whole reason we broadcast on the Book of Faces, that we broadcast on the Instagram, that we broadcast on the YouTube, that we broadcast on Rumble. It's for all those things, to give another avenue where you can participate. And I think sometime in the future, we're going to use the Rumble live chat function. So we encourage people to go over to Rumble, and then we can have some back and forth moderated. So that should be sort of fun, just for something out there in the future. But yeah, so I want you, and there are, of course, good Democrats listening, to think about why the media, and I'm really sticking a needle in Joe, dead intern in my office, Scarborough, he put his professional reputation on the line, and not only like the cacophony, and this is and I want you to walk back in your Wayback Machine, not too far, but just walk back in your Wayback Machine just a little bit. And you might remember this. Remember, there was a web server or news server called the Journo List. And that was a place where a lot of these, and I'm going to say left-wing because that's what they were, but a lot of these left journalists got together and they talked about, on Monday, we're going to talk about this. We're going to keep the narrative going on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I want everybody to come out with this same story. And they did. And I don't know if you've seen these things on YouTube, if you've seen these things on Rumble, where they will have news reporters from all over the country essentially parroting word by word the same story over and over and over and over again. And that's so the Journo List thing, a lot of those guys got slapped down for that. This coordination, that it really demonstrating that it wasn't actual news, that it was a construct, that it was a construction to manipulate the American people. Now, we know that Twitter was doing the same thing, except Twitter was coordinating with the federal government, different agencies of the national government. So that's there. But just a week, maybe 10 days ago, we experienced one of these coincidences. And that's when on national news, on local news, all these stories, he's the sharpest. He is fully engaged. Got the Congress critter Dan Goldman, heir to the Levi Strauss fortune. No, I had a meeting with him, and he was engaged, and he was this, and he was that. And then again, the sycophantic Joe Brzezinski Scarborough had a dead intern in his office, at his desk, I think. That critter, really put it all on the line. But there were at least 30 national figures. Oh, he's sharp. He's fully engaged. He's sharp. And that sharp thing over and over, you have to go, well, that was a coordinated thing. And it probably was. But we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Well, hey, Dr. Gene.
Hey, it's our friend Ed, the professor. What's how about this? With your friends that are occupying the same political space as I think you do, what are they saying about this?
About
the debate. We've got movement in the country. The in the country to ditch President Biden. We've got other people saying no, you can't do it, like David Axelrod. So I wonder what casually your friends are saying about where we go from here.
Well, I will tell you what me and my brother say.
Okay.
I have been very concerned about Biden for a while. My brother has said, "Oh no, he's fine," and points to these speeches he's given. And I don't know, because you guys on the right, you have a penchant for exaggerating the bad things that are happening.
Maybe in the country. No, maybe in the country too. We might create.
I couldn't tell.
Okay. Well, how about this with your brother? Does he have an avenue for any special knowledge, or is he consuming the same type mass media that you and I do?
He's doing something I can't do. He watches speeches, and I don't watch political speeches because I find them boring. But he says the speeches he's seen Biden give, he seems to be fine.
Well, how about this, Ed? And this is a confession on my thing. When he gave a speech, I think, is it North Carolina or Virginia? He gave a speech on, I think, Saturday, and it was like there's a different person in the room. So
that's what he said. Yeah.
So how much do you think that this stuff is pharmaceutically controlled?
I don't think it's pharmaceutically controlled at all.
Really? You don't think that when he's juiced up, he's able to do great? Like he did, I think, more than reasonably well at the State of the Union.
What juice? Give me the...
Oh, goodness. Goodness. So we can say Adderall. We can say a stimulant like Adderall, increase your blood pressure, increase your brain function, calm some spastic nature of you. All right, hold on, Ed. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Joined by our friend, Professor Ed. You can be part of this problem, too. 803-799-8255. Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline.
Companies out there, few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. I'm pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
You want to remodel. Actually, you need to remodel. I'm Eddie Springer of Treycal Builders, and with us, remodeling is easy. Whether it's your kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, or even the whole house that needs an upgrade, at Treycal, we'll help you every step of the way. We do first-class work quickly, cleanly, and affordably. Call 360-8211, 360-8211, or visit TRECALbuilders.com. Treycal Builders, quality from start to finish.
Breathe fresh life into your home with Lake Murray Soft Wash. Our team specializes in power washing, soft washing, and restoration. From roof cleaning to wood and concrete wash downs, we've got you covered. For top-notch, affordable services that you can trust, call now. 528-1996 or log on to LakeMurraySoftWash.com to make an appointment. We're not just professionals, we're your neighbors. Whether residential or commercial, Lake Murray Soft Wash sets the standard in cleaning. Embrace the sparkling difference today.
So we're back with our friend Ed. Thanks for holding on there, Ed.
Yeah, there is no drug that will make your memory better, even for an hour and a half.
Well, there are things like Namenda. I think another name for that, or another drug that's on the same class is called Aricept. And those are drugs that are reasonably good at treating the beginning stages of dementia. So there are some things that, and for some folks, if let's say that, and we don't know Joe Biden's health history, but let's say that that he has a hint of vascular dementia, that maybe he is a candidate for carotid artery surgery, but because of the political climate, they don't want to do that at this time in his presidency. And then vasodilator, something that increases the size of the pipe going to his brain, that would make a difference. So, I wonder if the Wizards of Smart that, in this 8 days of prep, didn't do that which they had done before, or they thought that there was a real risk of a drug test or something like that, and they decided not to reveal. There's a small pharmacy, I think, that's in Maryland, and it's like a mom and pop pharmacy. And this one pharmacist group, they're the ones that do all the drugs for the Congress critters, House and Senate. And there's some reports out of that not only on sexual performance drugs, but a lot of anti-Alzheimer's, dementia drugs are being prescribed to Congress critters. So, I mean, if you're 70 and are in a rock star high performance job where you have to know what you're doing, if a high schooler will juice to get bigger in the gym, then surely somebody that's slipping up a little bit will try to cover that up.
Well, let me assure you, my brother and I are sort of experts on dementia.
Mm-hmm.
We've been dealing it with our mother for 15 years. And trust me, Gene, if there's a drug out there that would allow us to have even a 30-minute normal conversation with her, we would give it to her, but it ain't out there. You can do a lot of things, the stimulants like you're talking about, but they won't restore your memory.
Even with Alzheimer's, truthfully, and for the last 30 plus years, Alzheimer's has been diabetes type 3. So it's not that the memories are gone, it's that you've lost access to them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I would make a claim, and this is the difference between you and me and Congress critter, is I suspect whatever the best is that exists in the panoply of the pharmacopoeia, that they probably have access to it where we do not.
Well, speaking of dementia, Trump likes to brag that he's taken
and aced it, and he aced it. He aced it. Can you believe that? He aced the cognitive test.
And he keeps repeating that those three things that are related and are easy to remember. My mother, when we suspected she had dementia, she took that test and she passed it.
Yeah.
So this stable genius is telling us he's taken a test that even someone in the early stages of dementia can pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens when your experience in your life instructs you on what other people are, especially a politician, is self-reporting. Because you have knowledge, and regular people don't have the knowledge that you have.
So most stable geniuses I know don't have to brag about being stable geniuses.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody in the history of the world other than the Orange Man say anything about being a stable genius. And I know some people that are geniuses. I have a relative of mine who's an absolute genius, but he's 6 years older than me. So growing up, I always thought he was an evil genius. He was just wicked smart, and there was a hint of evil there too. So being super smart doesn't mean you're good, but it's hard to really beat your chest and say that you're the gooder of the two candidates.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think this shows that Trump is a good candidate?
Well, I think he's.
Debate.
Yeah, I think he's a. Can't hear the caller. Okay, we've got. Well, I'm sorry about that, Lake Murray folks. We will try to figure out why you can't hear the caller. We'll boost this up a little bit, see if that makes
Probably
a difference.
a storm out there.
Well, that's there, but we've got it directly wired into the board, so I expected that it would be doing better than it is. But yeah, so I was a Rand Paul guy in 2016, and truly, I thought he was the smartest guy on the dais. The only better candidate I could have imagined than Rand Paul was his father, Ron Paul. But of course, that was not allowed to happen. And I was really disappointed that when Trump showed up, that he took all the oxygen in the room, every little bit of it. He took all the oxygen in the room. And that's one of the things he's really good at. He is really good at knocking the spotlight over to a point where he can stand in the middle of it. And so he has that.
Well, I'll grant you that he looked better to people that hadn't done the fact checking on what he said. But that was not a good debate performance, Gene. I think.
I think
when you ask who won, I think both of them lost.
Well, I think all right. So and I didn't necessarily think it was smart the way this happened, but basically the Biden campaign chided Trump into this debate. All the things that Trump you would put in his crown of good things. He's very good to be extemporaneous. He's very good at the insult. He's very good at the fast response. He's very good at the other stuff. But he also sort of meanders and wanders in the sort of free, open format question. But so the team Biden said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it so hard that he'll have to refuse, and then we'll say he's chicken crap. He won't even face us in a debate. I think that was. I really thought that was. Well, that's what I thought that was going to be the goal. And when Trump on the other side and said, yeah, that's fine, I'll do it.
No,
I thought it was an error
to make it like a normal debate.
I thought it when they
were trying to shout over each other.
Well, when they put it in,
that Trump.
Well, when they
saying that Trump shouting, if he's allowed to shout over people, that's better. Well,
no, it's usually better for him because he gets the response.
Yeah,
so like
like
the atomic Hillary Clinton thing when she said, well, thank God somebody like you is not in charge of the Justice Department, and instantly, without missing a beat, there is probably milliseconds between her delivering that line and his response because you'd be in jail. And the crowd responds. So what did CNN do? They took away the crowd, and they said, no, we're not going to just chide you when you interrupt. We're going to cut off your microphone. New thing, never has happened before in the history of presidential debates. And he still went for it.
So they had to debate each other on the issues. That's why they did that.
Well, that's not why they did it, but that's a reason to say that's why you did it.
You're reading their minds? So
yeah, pretty much, because I know it's say N-A-N-A, the same. Remember, Dana Bash's husband is one of the intelligence officials that signed that letter, the 51 lying spies, that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation.
Oh, yeah.
So they're linked at the waist at this. This is not, I know a guy who went to church with a guy who was at the Citadel with a guy. It's not this. No, it's her husband. She is mated to this. So that's part of it. All right, Ed, hold on if you can through the break. You got another caller on deck, too. We'll get to he or she in just a little bit. We're going to come back with some news, and then the program resumes with you.
Summers are so special around the lake. The only thing that can make it more special is finally going ahead and getting your own new boat. There's never been a better time than now. Marine 360 has a great selection of 2024s, but they won't last forever. And here's why. Everything Brandon and Scott have in their inventory is available at or below invoice cost. And not because they're good guys, which they really are. I've known them a long time. And not because there's some gimmicky commercial like some guy hawking used cars. I don't do that. That's simply because the manufacturer's rebates from folks like Crest and Sea Hunt, well, they've never been better. So you win, but you need to get moving. As the season goes by, the selection will dwindle. So my suggestion, do your homework. Go online. Look at marine360sc.com. Make an appointment. Go see Brandon and Scott at Marine 360 right on Johnson Marino Road. Look at their showroom. Get a demo on the lake itself. This is the best boating value in years. marine360sc.com or call them. 749-2360. That's 749-2360, Marine 360.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. Hurricane Beryl approaching the southeastern Caribbean as a powerful Category 4 storm. Expected to make landfall early Monday morning in the Windward Islands. Warnings in effect now for Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. National Hurricane Center says Beryl is forecast to bring, quote, life-threatening winds and storm surge. Supreme Court will issue its ruling tomorrow on the Trump immunity case.
It's perhaps the most anticipated decision of the court term, whether former presidents are immune from prosecution for official acts they took in office. The High Court has previously ruled that former presidents can't be sued in civil cases for what they did in office, but it has never weighed in on criminal immunity. At stake is the criminal case against Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th U.S. Capitol riot. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, a couple of things a little longer.
Sonny Williams arrived on Boeing's new space capsule about a month ago.
I want to make it very clear that Butch and Sonny are not stranded in space.
This was the first astronaut launch for Boeing after years of delays and setbacks. NASA says engineers troubleshooting some problems.
We'll have a little bit more work to do to get there for the final return, but they're safe on space station. Their spacecraft is working well, and they're enjoying their time on the space station.
NASA has not set a return date.
We're not in any rush to come home.
Boeing has said some leaks that were spotted during the flight are not a concern for the return trip. I'm Ed Donahue.
Justice Department plans to propose Boeing plead guilty to fraud in connection with two deadly plane crashes involving its 737 MAX jetliners. Boeing will have until the end of this coming week to accept or reject the offer. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Well, summer is upon us and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people and you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel a difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. ReliefFactor.com, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-473-5433. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Dr. Michael Oren, says it's not hard to see why the leader of Hamas has rejected the latest ceasefire bid.
Hamas rejected it because Mr. Sinwar, the head of Hamas, believes that time is on his side. He believes that the longer he waits, there'll be more pressure on Israel to agree not just to a temporary ceasefire, but to a permanent ceasefire and a total withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. Hamas wins. Game over.
Oren says Hamas also hopes delayed U.S. arms shipments to Israel will help it to force the Jewish state into a permanent ceasefire.
Now, what's really makes no sense to me is that the only way to get Hamas to agree to a ceasefire is by increasing the military pressure on Israel, not putting the military pressure on Israel.
In the meantime, thousands of Jewish ultra-Orthodox men have clashed with Israeli police in Jerusalem. That protest comes against a Supreme Court order for them to begin enlisting for military service. Breaking news and analysis town.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks, y'all, and God bless.
Need a break but worried about your furry friend? Don't forget, a Paws Paradise, the vacation spot your dog dreams about. Picture this: tail wags, endless play, and all the care your pooch needs while you're away. Whether it's a quick weekend or a lavish getaway, we've got you covered. Don't just take a vacation, give one. Visit apawsparadise.com or dial 551-0323 today. A Paws Paradise, where every dog has its day.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
And when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Let the good times roll. Hi, it's Thomas.
And Mary Catherine from Louisiana Purchase.
For years, we've been serving a taste of New Orleans in the heart of Irmo.
And now we're doing even more.
We're expanding to offer additional seating, a larger wine selection, and...
Shh, Thomas, that's a secret.
Yes, dear. We also offer catering and charcuterie boards with that Louisiana flair.
While you're waiting for your food, take a peek at Cypress Corner, our in-house art gallery and gift shop.
Louisiana Purchase, St. Andrews Road, near Crossroads Intermediate School, and at louisianapurchase.com.
You're listening to Gene Garris on the radio.
All right, we're back for hour two. We got our holdover, and then now two additional folks. So we're going to go right to the phones to our friend Professor Ed. Thanks for holding on during that big old break.
Yeah, I guess Trump is a stable genius. That's what his Dr. Ron Johnson said.
Well, I mean, gosh, you know, we the previous White House physician under Biden, Obama, and Trump is a Congress critter from Texas now, and he has sounded the alarm a lot, but in a professional way with reservation, giving hints to, hey, this is something that's a concerning thing. We need to look into this. We need to make sure that anybody in that position is competent. So basically what happened during the debate, more than anything else, more than anything that was said, was it revealed to the American people that President Biden is essentially unfit. And everybody that alluded to and came out and said,
Go
ahead.
But why is he the only one that's unfit?
Because Trump didn't have any of the cognitive issues. Trump knew where he was in the room.
Well, when you don't have to tell the truth, I guess it is easy.
Well, politicians in the United States have never been known for their truth telling.
Come on, Jim.
Name one. Who's your favorite truth telling politician? No. Who was the first one? Who was the first national politician that you said is a truth teller? Who is it? Just one name. Just give one.
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
But,
I'm not going to throw that one away. That's a good one. But in your lifetime, who is the American president or the American political national figure that you say is a truth teller?
Where are you going with this?
I mean it's
because none of the other people you're talking about are running for president. We've got two people in front of us. Say what you want about Biden. What he said was more truthful than what Trump said.
Well, thank God we've defeated Medicare. But the
I know.
Well, I'm just going to start having to take that out of my payroll taxes now since we've defeated it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What I think Biden should have done. You know that cardboard cutout when he was in the at the Pride event where everybody was rocking and swaying, including that.
When he was fixated like an angry child.
Yeah,
trying to hold in a bowel movement. Cutout. No, that was the real guy.
That was a cardboard cutout, right?
No, that was the real guy. But he's an aged, goofy white guy too. And I could say, I'm going to apologize for Biden there. I could see if he's not George W. Bush, who goes and visits tribes and things in the African continent and then dances with the local people. That's not Joe Biden, but that's really nobody of that vintage. So I could see some of the apprehension. The mental disease is there. I'm willing to give him a wider berth on that just because it's so complicated.
Well, my point is, Biden should have done at the debate, taken that cardboard cutout and put it up there, and maybe have a voiceover say, "I'm President Joe Biden. I'm running for re-election." And I'm not Donald Trump, and then sit down.
Yeah, well, that would have been interesting. I'm going to run there
then let Trump run against himself. Let Trump debate himself, and then people would be reminded why they didn't like this guy in 2020.
Well, we shall see, and it looks like the worm has turned. But I'll be here on tomorrow and also on. Tuesday. So I look forward to talking to you again.
Great.
All right. Catch you later there, Super Ed. And we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, it's Nick.
Hey, Nick, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, I thought I would help y'all with some
truth telling?
With some medical definitions. I've been doing a little research. There's I think back when our President Joseph Robinette Lyon Biden did the State of the Union address, I'm pretty sure he had a few milligrams of something called desoxin, DESOXYN. It's called desoxin.
Uh-huh.
And the attributes, it helps you pay attention, it helps you stay focused, and it gives you mental and physical energy, because you know what else desoxin is known as?
What?
Methamphetamine.
Oh, okay. Well, Nick, I am going to
legal version. Yeah,
I am going to contribute to your suspicion by refocusing the debate to the first 15 minutes, where President Biden was very, very fast and talking like crazy, like it's almost like he couldn't wait to get the stuff out of his mouth, almost like the drugs were really kicking in at that point, and that's how he was doing it. And it was really, if you look at it, it was really just like how you and I are talking right now. It was just like this, with not a pause, with not a break, with anything else. It was a stream of consciousness type thing, and there was not, you could not have put a credit card or a business card in between the spaces of his words.
Yeah. And the thing that it always makes me laugh when Ed brings up Dr. Johnson, Jackson, JoJo, the dog-faced boy, whoever the doctor is at the White House. I mean, because, Trump mistaked the name like once in 8 years, maybe twice in 8 years, and it was the same night. Yeah. But I've yet to see him ask dead people to stand up and make a statement.
Or to check to shake hands with ghosts. And the other thing is, as soon as it's the end of the speech, President Biden becomes a Roomba. He just sort of hovers around until he meets a restriction and he changes direction. And that's really unfortunate. And I did not want him to be the Democrat nominee. And in fact, during the Democrat primary in South Carolina 4 years ago, I cast a ballot for Tulsi Gabbard. I crossed over and voted in the Democrat primary because I wanted to help my Democrat friends out so that they could have a political candidate that wasn't totally corrupt and insane.
And that would have been a lot better choice. That would have been true.
Right. I mean,
the other thing that always makes me wonder, it gives me a little chuckle when we talk about Dr. Jackson is the time that our President Biden asked the paraplegic guy in the wheelchair.
Stand up. Come on, Ed. Stand up.
3 times in a row. Yeah, just 3 times. Just do it.
All right. Hold on, Nick. We'll be right back. Gene Garris, America's radio show. Soon to be.com again. 803-799-8255.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars and stock up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaji by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. I'm pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Hey, it's Wilson at the Melting Pot. Thinking about where to take that special someone? Celebrating your anniversary or another trip around the sun? The Melting Pot is the perfect place to celebrate your favorite person. Date night, family night, or just craving good food. The Melting Pot invites you to enjoy more than just a meal. Conversation, laughter, and coming together over artisanal cheeses, fresh salads, savory entrees, and indulgent desserts. Have the perfect night out at the Melting Pot, located at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard, Columbia, SC, right outside of downtown.
To you about masks, they lied. To you about surfaces, they lied. To you about the Wuhan lab, they lied. To you about the wet market, they lied. To you about restaurants, they lied. To you about bars, They lied to you about small businesses. They lied to you about the risks. They lied to you about kids in schools. They lied to you about hydrochloroquine. They lied to you about ivermectin. They lied to you about vitamin D. They lied to you about zinc. They lied to you about therapeutics. They lied to you about the very definition of a vaccine. They lied to you about side effects. They lied to you about safety testing. They lied to you about FDA approval. They lied to you about the American taxpayer funding the development of the virus. They screamed, "Trust the science," as they were denying it. They screamed, "Do your part," as they stole your liberty. They screamed, "This is the only way," as they stripped your rights away. Never, never, never trust them about anything of consequence again. Never.
And remember that, never. And I know we've been talking about this as if it's, the guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, that it's an open question. But today at about 1 o'clock, Bill O'Reilly, whatever you think of Bill O'Reilly, but Bill O'Reilly says the decision has been made that the president will quit the campaign. 2 reasons: Democrat internal polling says that he cannot recover from the debate, and fundraising is drying up. So we might be talking in theoreticals when the decision has already been made. And we're back with our friend Nick. Thanks for holding on there, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I think when I think of Joe Biden stepping down and I think of Kamala Harris, I think of 2 things. I think, okay, Joe Biden created the omnibus crime bill back when he was vice president, which incarcerated more people of color than any other time in history except for slavery, and at least those people were flat out slaves, so we didn't try to make excuses for that one. And then he had Kamala Harris, who come along and tried to top him. So between the 2 of them, I think they've probably been responsible for more, life sentences through the omnibus bill, and overall people of color being incarcerated.
Well, the disgusting thing
in history.
Well, the disgusting thing I have with Kamala Harris is all the things that Tulsi Gabbard brought up. That she, she kept people in California prisons longer than their sentence in order to whore them out for cheap labor for the California Department of Corrections. That she had to be forced by a court to release exculpatory evidence on a guy that was convicted guy, a felon who was on death row, that she was willing to cheat and not give him that exculpatory evidence. And then I think on a casual level that really bothers me as one of the people that put so many kids, and this is white, brown, and black kids, put kids in jail for marijuana possession. And then on a California radio program, an urban station, she bragged about after a hard day at the office, going home and sparking up and listening to Snoop and Tupac. So, a super hypocrite. Even Willie Brown, when she was running for president and then as part of this nightmare vice presidential team, Willie Brown said, "I won't vote for her." And of course he's been closer to her than essentially any other person.
Yeah, he's been very intimately close with her out here. I just want to say 2 things, and I wake up every day and I say to myself, thank God that little Hunter Biden didn't have to grow up in a racial jungle. And Susan Rosenberg, wherever you are, you can thank Bill Clinton for your freedom.
Right.
And I'll leave you with that.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. And we're going to jump right to our next caller and say, hey, caller, how are you?
I think I need to beat myself and do some of that stuff you talked about.
Yeah, well, gosh, he's holding out on us. And my question is he? Do you think he's handing off some to Hunter? Hey, man, this will really jazz me up, man. You need to try some of this, Hunter.
No. You got the Looney Tunes on this. You got to go with Tasmanian on this one,
Well, we're almost getting to that in the stammering and the word hunting. And look, I didn't want him to be the Democrat.
The loudest I've ever seen Joe Biden's eyes get. I mean, the whole time he's been really. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and I don't want to put.
Ooh, I thought they were just going to keep going, and then next thing you know, the eyeballs are going to come out and be like directional lasers or something, or something was going to peel the head off, and we got something totally different going on there. It's just like.
Yeah, was it Total Recall or the Total Recall or Running Man? I forget which one it was, but change that. It was the Fifth Element with the sort of rotund woman that was really her face opened up. Remember that? And she was a monster on the inside. There is no telling. And having Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice and President Obama's
the right sunglasses. See right through it.
That's right. Now they live, I hear. They live, and Rowdy Roddy, man, what a talent we lost there. But yeah, AJ, it's just crazy where we are in the world and what's considered normal. And we were formerly the greatest country that ever existed, the most powerful country that ever existed, and we're being run like a vassal state.
Now we need a symbol. We do like Prince. We need a symbol. The country formerly known as the United States, and then we can rise again, right?
Yeah, that's right. We could just be a crazy symbol, but unfortunately, current administration would have all sorts of the male female thing would be all on top of each other, and inside and outside, male and male and female and every other thing, and they'd have little tiny ones for the children that
pink houses for you and me.
Yeah, all right, Johnny Cougar. But yeah, so that's where we are, and it's
if Biden's going to set us up for a China invasion, do they really want to do it? Well, think about it. They're only looking at it from one standpoint, coming in this way, doing this now. I mean, have they really experienced? They had a truly Southern experience. Do you realize how many Russians out there would be like? Oh.
Well, there's an urban comedian, and he comes out and he says it. So the difference between the United States and all these other countries is we got rednecks, and if somebody attacks us on the southern border, the I-95 will be loaded up with race cars and pickup trucks, and if we just put
if you really want world peace, who to put in the White House? I mean, it don't even matter which one is president and which one is vice president, and then, it's going to distribute down the line there. I mean, and China be like, wait a minute, all you got to do is either get, Hank Williams Jr. and Kid Rock, and it don't matter who's president, vice president, you put them in. You got Ted Nugent handling, one of the secretaries.
Yeah, Uncle Ted.
It's one, of course. I mean, you get all that, and I can hear the advisor to the Chinese president. He'd be like, Mr. President, do you realize they got redneck in White House?
Yeah.
We should not invade. No. Have you seen the movie The Woodlands? It's not a good idea.
Yeah, if you hear the banjos, that means turn back. But yeah, so
exactly, because, China has no banjo, and that's what I'm getting to too. Obviously, it'd be like, have you you understand? When you hear that sound, and all we got that
Mm-hmm.
and they have to mouth the rest of it, and it'd be like, unless they do a ripoff, but it'd be like, it'd be like that. I'm telling you, they might eat us. They have what is weather face? We don't know, but we should make peace with the USA. And in fact, let's go ahead and give them part of China to hunt on. These rednecks that they like to hunt. So let's make peace. Otherwise, they may be hunting us because they keep calling us these fish names and stuff like that. We must make peace with USA. I mean, it'd be so easy.
Well,
there is.
We didn't
have to sit down and put the right people in office. That's it. It's over with. Even the Italians get behind that one, like, oh yeah, I love this one.
Well, that is sort of a thing, and I don't know if you. I think we're within a couple years of the same age as each other, but I can remember it was.
You are older.
Yeah, so I can remember as a little kid, not a tiny kid, but I can remember the after the Reagan inauguration that there were all these parties, the Cattlemen's Ball, and all these things, and the president and First Lady Nancy and Ronald Reagan were doing all these things, and then Peter Jennings burst in that the Iranian hostages had just left Iranian airspace on the way to Ramstein Air Force Base to be checked out. And the deal is the Iranians had Carter figured out, and they knew he wasn't going to do nothing because that's not in his nature. But they didn't know what the heck that the cowboy president was going to do, and they actually were very close to getting glassed, and that makes a difference. And the difference between a pointless threat and a credible threat is the kind of person that does it.
Yeah, I mean, come on down south. We could get some southern hospitality, you can just see it. I mean, Red Dawn ain't got nothing on this. Okay?
Yeah.
It really don't. I mean, you can see them. I mean, these rednecks be like going total to the wall. They'd be skinning them. They'd be frying them, cooking them.
Yeah, well, like, just think about the Acadians, the Cajuns. They eat nutria. They put stuff in their mouth I wouldn't put in my hand.
Oh, we're talking. It's not just redneck. I mean, we're going Cajun, we're going Herberville, we're going all sorts of. I mean, there's just so much.
All right, hold on, AJ. Hold on. We'll let you finish up in the next segment. And we've got another great person I'm going to guess on deck. 803-799-8255. Groucho's Deli in studio hotline.
Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Forecasters say Hurricane Beryl has the makings of a deadly storm. It's now approaching the southeast Caribbean as a Category 4 storm and likely to make landfall in the Windward Islands early Monday morning. Hurricane warnings in effect for Barbados, Grenada, Tobago, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. French voters have propelled the Conservative National Party to a strong lead in first-round legislative elections. President Emmanuel Macron had urged voters to rally against the conservative movement. Authorities in Nigeria say at least 18 people are dead, more than 30 have been wounded. That in coordinated attacks by suspected female suicide bombers. The attacks raising security concerns in a region that's been the center of Islamist insurgency. This is SRN News.
Happy birthday, America! At Palmetto State Armory, we love spreading freedom. So come between June 28th and July 7th to shop our Independence Day deals. Available in-store only. We have discounts on big brands like Springfield, Vortex, Chronos Knives, Columbia Apparel, Hey Dude Footwear, and more. There are also discounts on holsters, triggers, and all t-shirts. Can't make it to the store? Visit us at PalmettoStateArmory.com for even more deals. Palmetto State Armory, always proud to be American-made for life.
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
All right, Gene Garris back, America's Radio Show. And from east of the Rockies, we're bringing our friend AJ Blues back. Thanks for holding on there, AJ.
Hey, let's go back to that Guns N' Roses. I got something to add to it.
And there it goes away. I'm sorry about that.
Huh? Oh.
It went away. It was at the last little bit.
It does. No, I wasn't saying go back to the thing. I was just going to add some words for it. You know, that's what I do. I do the parodies, man. You ever sit down and heard some of my parodies? I rewrote the Exit 44 song. Yeah, we got a real nice music video coming out too about. It's got Chief Terrence Green and Sheriff Coon together.
All right, now I have.
And it's true. It's a true story.
They're all true. That's the problem. They're all true.
And remember, everything is true. Because
right.
if you remember Obi-Wan Kenobi's teaching, it's all truth from a certain point of view.
That's funny. All right, I need to run. I've got 3 more people on deck. Closing words.
You can't run in the studio.
Oh, yeah, I can. This is a big one.
Record
this is
that,
big
okay?
enough. We can
You record that.
Yeah, I that's why I have firearms. I don't run unless a rabid dog is chasing me, and that's just until I can fire a couple of shots off.
Until you get to Washington someday, maybe you got one. There's a bunch of them in Congress.
That's funny. All right,
They're all
well,
Democrats. Look at them.
All right, let me go, AJ, and we'll catch you. Gosh, I'll be here Monday. I'll be here all of the week. Not really, just Monday and Tuesday.
I thought we always get a final thought, but you know what?
Go ahead. Hit us with a final thought.
You zap the final thought on that one, but you know what? All we're gonna do is say Happy 4th of July to everybody out there.
Greatest country that's ever existed. Yeah, that's us.
This is the greatest country where you can say what you want. Freedom of speech no longer means anything. So they lock you up for it. And if you're a comedian, they're just gonna beat you up and even bury you underneath the jail. So hey, we gotta enjoy the changes and things and roll with the changes.
Well, unfortunately, we remember how it used to be. So let me come here and we'll say, hey, caller, how are you?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, it's Professor Tim. I'll give you a professor type, the leader of Timocracy.
I profess that.
Well, good.
Just a quick comment on that last statement. Now, this country is so great. It's really great. We always got to remind ourselves how great we are. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean that's a you know what a hype video is. That's what we're limited to now. A bunch of hype videos where we have to beat our chest like we're about to come running out of the tunnel and onto the football field. It's
yeah, exactly. So I mean, quite a bit to say. I just want to say a little about that. But I think it's kind of psychopathic that we got to remind ourselves continuously, and no other country does that. I mean, I've been in a lot of countries that I've never seen a country like our country where we got constantly remind ourselves how great we are.
No, we got a whole bunch of stuff like that in our relationships with other nation states. We say some people are our best friends when you go, well, most of us are of English and the Irish and United Kingdom ancestry, and they're our closest ally, and their colony, Canada, is our biggest trading partner, and you start looking at the stuff and said, well, why do these other places have slogans about their relationship with us? Well, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I just want to, like I said, I got a lot on the deck here in the menu there. First of all, I want to address that the 4-decade-old lie that you mentioned a while ago. I mean, not your fault. You were brainwashed too. All of us were, we all young, about the myth about Ronald Reagan coming to office and the Reagan hostage crisis. How those guys were suddenly released.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan's about to walk in office. Well, I just want to tell you that was a big fat lie.
Well, that was the first. That was the first October surprise.
mass marketing campaign to propaganda for Reagan, pro-Reagan. What it was, the reason those guys were released on Carter's watch was that when Reagan was coming in, because they were mad at Carter and would embarrass him. They're mad at Carter for let the Shaw get off his hook.
Yeah.
Basically, so that's why they were released. It wasn't because they were scared of Ronald Reagan, this cowboy coming in and start dropping nukes. So that was a big lie, 40-year-old lie, and spread on right-wing stations forever. Anyways, I also want to get to a comment you made regarding Trump. He said Trump takes all the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah, he did that during when he first ran during that Republican Party primary. And gosh, I was there. I mean, I went to the I was, because of our relationship in national politics, they had one of the debates in Columbia at the Koger Center. So I was in the press tent while that was going on. And that's it was crazy. It really was crazy.
Yeah, it's probably true. But I have a question for you, Dr. Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else takes oxygen out of the room?
Fire.
Halon gas.
Yeah, Halon. Halon is awesome.
Exactly. Now, is Halon good for you?
No, it'll kill you.
Thank you.
It displaces the oxygen and it causes you to die. That's why I have a buddy of mine that ran one shift. He's a chemical engineer. He ran one shift of a chemical manufacturing plant, and his biggest thing that he had to do if there was a fire or something was to hit the buzzer and get everybody out of the building. And literally, as right before he closes the door, he presses a button and it floods the whole facility with halon, and it competes with the oxygen in the room and takes it away from the fire, and it'll kill you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It happened one time. I was in the Air Force in the computer room. We had to gather quick, But yeah, but that's why I'm making that. So.
Well, that's sort of a neat analogy, and I know I can't pull you across the line to support Orange Man. I know that. I can accept that because all your other arguments are so rational and.
And we agree on quite a few things. Actually, we do agree on quite a few things. There's one other main one beef I have is that we agree about. Now, Kamala Harris is a disaster, and I said that 4 years ago, but no one listened.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the worst things that Joe Biden, he's trying to do in a second term. That's the worst thing he could have done to pick her as a vice president. Because
well, remember, she called him a racist and a rapist.
Everything about her is correct. Yeah, she was willing to see hit a man, go to the gallows, just to, what I'm saying, to make her name.
So and Jill Biden and I jokingly on social media has said this earlier today. If you think that Senator Fetterman's wife is some sort of crazy Svengali, look at Jill Biden. She wants to be president more than I think President Biden wants to be president.
It could be a possibility. You never know. But but I'm finished up on Kamala real quick. That she's very vile. She's very vulgar. She's really evil. I mean, basically she's a half black, half Asian Hillary.
Yeah, well, she's a pretty Hillary, and the crazy thing is when she was running as part of the Biden-Harris team, she was attractive. She was a lovely woman, and these last 3.5 years.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Something happened.
And it's almost like if you wait long enough, they reveal who they really are.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah, I agree.
So I am not Team Kamala for sure, but I am not Team Biden. I'm more likely right now to be Team Corn Pop than Biden right now.
I'm Team America, and I go on more on that in a second. But one last thing regarding Kamala, she has an extremely dirty mouth too, so that says a lot about her. She's very vulgar, so
Yeah, and here's something. And Angela Merkel taught me this, former chancellor of the formerly great nation state called Germany. I don't necessarily trust any politician who doesn't have children. Because I looked at, and there is a motivation. What kind of world am I leaving for my children? And basically, Angela Merkel destroyed the nation state of Germany, filled it with Syrians, filled it with people.
I don't know about that. She's a highly intelligent. She's a PhD.
No, she's wicked smart, but wicked evil people are frequently wicked smart.
Well, I knew about it very well. Been a lot of time over it, but when I saw she was trying to help the country, it wasn't like she had a hidden agenda, in my opinion. And
no, she's willing to sell out Germany and destroy its future, even after reunification. Remember, Germany reunified without missing a beat. The East Germans got fully integrated into Greater Germany with almost no problems. I mean, it was expensive. But they didn't have societal collapse. They didn't have stabbings on the street. They didn't have their Christmas markets targeted. They didn't have any of that.
Yeah, we're the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel different about the Ukraine war than most people. I'm pretty much I support Putin. That's what he's doing. But anyways, okay. Yeah, how we got here, Dr. Gene? Like I said, with Kamala Harris and to be honest about it, Biden, to be totally honest about it, Biden should have never had, went for a second term. I mean, that's a fact.
Right. Well, when he ran the first time, he said that he was going to be a one-termer.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow and isn't there? I know.
See what happened? He realized that Kamala was going to be a disaster. Kamala was going to be a disaster. That's why. That's what happened. He made a fatal error by choosing her for his VP. And I said that 4 years ago. I said, "Oh my God! Now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for the second act? 4 years is going to end one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not happy about it now, but 4 years is going to come to an end. And he realized now that he put Kamala up against Trump, it's game over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's the most hated vice president ever. All right, hold on there, Tim. We got another person on deck. We'll let Tim finish, and then we'll bring our maybe our last person of the show on. Telephone number is 803-799-8255.
You hear about all these tax credits available for getting solar power for your home or your business, and yeah, they're pretty awesome. But what about your church? Yeah. What about your nonprofits? How can you benefit from tax credits if you don't pay taxes? Well, now there's a great program in place for nonprofits. Think about that. Your church still has a pretty big power bill, right? What about taking control, saving that church money every single month by using solar power from Broker Solar? Installation rebates, tremendous savings. Bet you've never even thought about it. Maybe it's time to talk about it at your church or your nonprofit. Broker Solar has all the answers. Ken and his team know every program, every opportunity for your home, your business, and yes, your nonprofit. So you can save dollars, get rebates, get government credits. Isn't it worth looking into? Online, it's brokersolar.com, or give Ken a call, 807-7417 at Broker Solar. That's 807-7417, and tell them Kev sent you.
At Temples Halloran, we are here first and foremost to help the family through their most difficult time while being mindful of their financial needs. At Temples Halloran, we are interested in serving the family, not loading a contract with many options and misunderstood packages. We serve families one at a time. And you're dealing with either Jeff Temples or John Halloran, two veteran funeral directors. They were raised in this area, and they have served the Midlands for more than 60 years. Temples Halloran.
Hey, honey, got all your meds packed for our vacation?
Yep, I have my pillbox right here. Oh, no.
Here, let me help.
This pillbox is so frustrating. I have to organize it myself, and sometimes I accidentally miss a dose.
You know, True Pharmacy on Divine can package your meds by day and time so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Think we have time for a stop? True Pharmacy, we take time to care. Come see us at 3217 Divine Street or at our new West Columbia location, Triangle Pharmacy, 1239 D Avenue. Visit truerxsc.com for more info.
America's radio show with Gene Garris every Sunday night from 6 till 8. Local, live, somewhat punishing, but only on the point.
rocket fuel. Buddy, I'm running on rocket fuel. Flying high, feeling cool. Buddy, I'm running.
All right, we're coming back with our friend Tim. That's some Todd Snyder. Last time I saw him was at Smith's Old Bar in the great city of Atlanta. All right, thanks for holding on there, Tim.
All right, sure, no problem. Sound like the other guy that's that song, Don't Stop Now, or I can't remember the name.
Okay, there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. And so the promo has the talking heads in the background.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, anyways, I just want to finish over here. Yeah, okay. How we got her, Dr. Jean, is the whataboutism. Whataboutism is that's American people. Like I said, I'm still gonna vote for Biden because I believe Donald Trump is a genuine, undiagnosed psychopath.
Okay.
And, you know, this
He might be a diagnosed psychopath. That it's undiagnosed is not in the record.
He might be, but what about him? Got us here. Started a few decades ago. Like I said, you know me. I'm across the board. I believe that Bill Clinton should have been thrown out. You know, and it's when we start defending our guys did, you know, our guy is better than your guy, you know, or your guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what about this? You know, what about your guy? You know that's how we got here. You know, not punishing our guys, or throwing out somebody. The way Congress was back in the Nixon era, everybody.
I have a wrinkle for you about Nixon. Do you know why Nixon had to be destroyed?
What's that? Why?
He was the most electorally popular American president in modernity.
Really?
Yeah, he got every state except for one. I mean, it was Reagan before Reagan, and he had to be destroyed. And if you look at the people,
who wanted him destroyed?
Deep State. So all the plumbers, those were all CIA folks. Future President Ford was unelected, never had a successful election to a chief executive. It was essentially the quietest of coups. He had to be destroyed because being from California, being hugely popular, running as an anti-war candidate, he was going to really mix it up.
Nixon was anti-war?
Yeah, his promise was to get us out of this horrible war in Vietnam with dignity. That's why every time they had the Paris Peace Accords and the North.
Somebody said want to get us out with dignity. That means they want to stay longer and finish up on
No, it means that we had to have a negotiated peace, and he got it. We got out of Vietnam because as soon as the North Vietnamese left the peace table in Paris, Nixon scrambled bombers and hammered them. And he was given the ticket to annihilate them. There was one a hydroelectric dam that, and he actually saw. This is a failing of Billy Graham. He sought the moral backing of Billy Graham because his military people said, "Look, if we blow this dam, it will kill 8 million people and will decimate Vietnam, and they will not be able to fight back." And so he pitched that to Billy Graham, and Billy Graham said, "Do whatever you know is necessary to win." And so, but in his own conscience and knowing that he would be the biggest butcher in American history, he said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. There's got to be another way.
Yeah, I mean, that shame, so-called Christian man, he might sign off by that. Sad, huh?
Yeah, it is. But there's an evil and the devil's in the church.
Devil's in the details. All right.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think I'll let no one other people talk tonight. Then I'll talk to you later.
All right. Very good. And then we're going to jump right to the phones and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
It's nice to hear your voice. This is Gino. How have you been?
Oh, great. I've been doing good. Well, I did Friday, the afternoon drive, and I'm going to do both Monday and Tuesday. So if you're around the radio between 4 and 6 Monday and Tuesday, you can listen and feel free to call in.
You know, radio is my favorite modern invention right before the computers, of course. And one thing about local radio here, talk radio is fine, but I detest the music stations.
Oh, well, that's there's another thing, like popular music is made by 6 production houses, and many of the popular music stations are satellite programs. So there's not somebody locally that's picking the songs.
But the thing that bothers me, when you say rock music or music of the 80s and the 90s, you have about 5 stations here, at least that I know of, who play the same 20, 30 songs.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of the Mellencamp's, of the Bon Jovis, and the guy from Long Island who married beautiful young women.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy Joel. No wonder guys like me say, you know what, I'm willing to shell $6 a month for Sirius. At least I get to listen to songs that nobody locally plays. But anyway, yes, I'm a big fan of radio. I don't know if you noticed. I listen to you on a 2x4 radio, 3x6. I get about one radio at least in each room, including the laundry room.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I am not there, but I own at least 10 radios.
No, at the same time, of course.
No, I own 10 radios at the same time. I mean, I even have one of my favorite radios is the Bauer brand from Harbor Freight Tools, and it uses my big 5 amp hour lithium battery.
You like the small radios, just for memory's sake, I got 2, is it 2x2 or 2x3 inches? What's the name of the brand? Kobe? I forgot.
Oh yeah, Kobe. They
buy one on Amazon just for the sake of having it, and you'll see how happy you'll be. Anyway, before I go into this Democratic Republican stuff, have you noticed in Europe it's slowly turning more and more to the right?
Just today, Macron, who's maybe married to a man, Macron, Le Pen's party is taking over France.
You know, he used to be married to a man. I was thinking about the guy who makes a fool of himself, Assistant Secretary of Health, Levine.
Oh, well, how about this? This is a little known fact. So General Levine, Rachel Levine, played football in high school with Joint Chiefs of Staff former head General Milley. They went to high school together and played on the same football team.
Something crossed my mind, which should be said on the radio. I won't, to do with what they were wearing. But since you mentioned this about the sex problem, let me say this. Have you heard about this young woman who works in human hormone therapy? She had a 16-month-old baby in arms and her mother with her. And she thanked the person who gave him the boarding pass to get on the airplane on United Airlines. And she said, "Thank you, sir."
She got bounced from the flight for misgendering the flight attendant.
I mean, I want to say, fork. What is going on here?
No, we've created it, Gino. We've created this thing where that's the greatest sin of humanity.
She
is
had to wait 3 hours for another airline going from San Francisco to Austin, Texas, just because she mispronounced. I guess it was a guy trying to be a woman. So, and the captain said, yeah, it's okay. She shouldn't be on the plane. Those 3 people should not be on the plane. A 16-month-old baby, the baby's grandma, and the baby's mother, 30-some years old woman. This is beyond crazy. Okay?
No, well, this is why I am not chairman of the FAA, because I would have grounded that whole flight crew, including the people at the front of the plane.
You know what happens in a situation like FAA and others? These are former people who used to be politicians. They get on the board of FAA and they become paid more than what they're making as politicians just to be lobbyists because they know about the industry.
Right.
I mean, look at Boeing. Boeing should have been shut down by now at least twice, but nobody's doing anything. Now let's go to what I want to say. This.
Okay.
By the way, Democrats, are you better off today or 3 days ago?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, I have to say this. One thing I want to say is this. The Bible of the Democrats, New York Times, AJC of Atlanta, Washington Post, and others have been saying now that, please, Biden, step down, time to lay down. And I think there's a reason for that besides the guy not being able to stand on his own feet. By the way, I think his wife, although she's an Italian-American, she should be ashamed of pushing her husband just because she doesn't like to miss the limelight she's enjoying now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just crazy that, but maybe that's maybe the true Svengalis, the Rasputin-like characters in the DNC. Maybe they realized that was a weakness for her, and they locked her into it.
Okay. Before we go, let me say this: the reason why many people want to step down either Kamala or Jeffries to be in charge, to be a leading candidate for the party. And don't forget.
All right, I gotta run. Catch me on Monday, and we'll talk about it.
Struggling to find a fun spot for Fido when vacation calls? Say bon voyage to your worries with a pause paradise. Whether it's for a weekend getaway or a full holiday escapade, your furry friend will be wagging with excitement. Daily doggy daycare or extended stays, we make every moment a tail-wagging adventure. Discover more at apawsparadise.com or fetch us a call at 551-0323. It's not just a stay, it's a holiday for your poop.